Hmm. Blessings and welcome. This is Dawn Del Vecchio with Return of the Priestess and Priestess School, and today is Sunday, January 24th, 2021. I'll just wait for a few moments until people start getting on the line. Welcome to all of you who watch this on the recording. Thank you for being here with me. I'm going to start out with a few announcements this morning, and then we'll drop into Ground and Center and bring forth today's message. Hey Pat, good morning. It was lovely to see you the other day on the Free Our Children free event that we did. So good to see you there. Hi Janelle, good morning, dear. Good to have you here. I see people coming on the line. Okay, so I wanted to share a few announcements before we begin. Evelina, hi. Okay, so there's some exciting announcements and some that might be temporarily disappointing for you. Amy, hi, welcome. Sasha, good morning. Okay, so the next Sunday, and possibly even the Sunday after that, I will not be able to go live. I'm sorry about that, but I'll explain to you why in a minute after I say hello to Kimberly and Rosemary. Hi, Monica, good morning. Okay, so hey from Norway, hi. Hey from Sedona, where it's raining, which is a blessing. Okay, so next week I will not be able to go live. I'm going to do my best to add another video before I leave on Friday. So why? When all of this stuff started happening in the world, I made a radical change. Actually, this is gonna segue really well into our topic. I made a radical change of direction because my guidance was telling me to do something very different than what I thought I was going to be doing with this next segment of my life. Hey, Wayna, good morning, welcome. Amanda, hi, welcome, welcome. Anne, welcome. Okay, so my guidance was very loud and clear. Land with water, land with water, land with water. And some of you have heard me say that before. Well, on Tuesday, we are closing on our land with water. And on Friday, we're going over there. So right now, there's a little bitty house on it. So it's not just raw land. It would be cold to be there on raw land right now. But there is not yet internet. So I need to go over there and I need to be there possibly for a couple of weeks for them to bring the phone line and then put in the cable for the internet. So again, I will not be here for the next week and possibly 2 weeks because I just won't have enough internet service to do that. As soon as I get internet service, I will post. Now, I might be able to go to friends' houses and do a quick thing here or there, but to do a live stream is not going to be possible. So I just wanted to give you the heads up about that. Hey, Judith, good morning. Welcome. Our group is growing. Okay, so that's the first announcement, that next week and possibly even the following week, but I'm going to do my best not to, but it depends on the phone company. I will not be able to come live, and I'm going to do my best to make another video. Okay, number two. We have on February 1st is the ancient holiday in Northern Europe called Imbolc, and it's the return of the light. And so you may want to celebrate this. Just thought I would share that with you. It would have been something I was talking about next week, but I won't be here. This is when in the Northern Hemisphere, the little stirrings of the plants begin to sprout from their seeds deep under the snows. So it's when life is starting to awaken a little bit, but we can't see it yet. And of course, we could think about, thank you, Amanda, for the congratulations. I know we're very excited. Hey, Tammy, welcome. We could think about how this comes to us as Groundhog's Day. You know, there's that whole thing in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. I don't know about down under. But where, February 2nd, the groundhog looks for its shadow, and that lets us know how much longer winter is going to be. Anyway, the ceremony is Imbolc. This is a Celtic holiday. The primary goddess is Bridget, who holds the eternal flames. Ooh, I just felt her arrive. Sometimes on my altar here, I have Bridget, the goddess Bridget. through the winter season I had her. She's coming with me to my new property. That's Tara over there right now. So you may have seen Bridget before. So anyway, so that's the next announcement. I want to say hi to Jan. Welcome. Welcome, Tammy. I think I already said Kimberly. Thank you for the congrats and welcome. Okay, so third announcement. I'm going to, these are the third and fourth announcements. Keep your eyes open, mark your calendars. The third one is I'm going to be running a tarot special. Excuse me. You know, I don't usually, even though I do tarot, I don't usually offer it as an offering, but I'm going to do a Valentine's Day special. So you'll see that coming down the pike once I get back home from my property, just shortly before Valentine's Day, and maybe before that. It depends on, you know, how much bandwidth I have this week to prepare everything I need to put it out in emails, basically. And then the big announcement, it's still a ways away, but please mark your calendars because Return of the Priestess 2 is coming your way starting on April 25th, which is my beloved mother's birthday, and we'll begin with a Honoring Our Mothers, Honoring Our Ancestors ceremony live. Of course, it'll be recorded for those who can't make it. So this year's Return of the Priestess will be different. We will have maybe a few of the same speakers and different speakers. I've got a different sort of, I would say, guidance coming through about how to structure it in a bit of a different way. But creating a speaker series or speaker summit is, there's a lot of divine intervention because it really depends on who is available as a speaker and all of that. I am very much looking to have a diversity of lineages, a diversity of cultures represented. So if you know of any working priestesses, especially if they are women of color, please reach out to me privately and refer them to me. And I would love to, you know, if they are actually, you know, a leader, a priestess who is, or a shaman who is really working with the sacred feminine energies, that would be great. Okay, so Kimberly says, yay to Return of the Priestess 2. Yes, I started really working on the invitation letters to speakers yesterday, and I have a starting list of 30 priestesses right now. And they say you've got to reach out to 3 times as many as you want. Last year, I reached out to almost 100 women, just to give you an idea of what it takes before you even get started. So, but it's an exciting thing. It's a wonderful thing. So anyway, that's that. Okay, Petra says she pulled the card, Bridget, today. Yeah, you're right in the right window of time for that, Petra. Okay. All right, so those were the announcements. Again, for those, Kimberly says she's going to send me a message. Great. For those of you who came in late, again, next week, I will not be live. I'll do my best to make a video for you this week, but I will be on my property, which is not yet wired for internet, and that's what I'll be sitting there waiting for the utility companies to help me with. Okay, so our theme today is Choice Point 2, Part 2. And the subtitle, I think we'll see what comes through, Discerning Guidance, and then Following It. So let's ground and center, and I'm going to go right into the whatever message wants to come through. So I invite you now to, if it's safe to do so, close your eyes. And take a deep breath to drop down and inward. Opening to receive the breath even as you allow yourself to go down into the center of your being. And then as you exhale, let that breath take with it everything you want to release now. Good. And again, a deep breath in, coming home to yourself. Expanding into the rich present moment. And exhaling to surrender any attachments to what the ego wants right now. Giving yourself permission to be fully present. And another breath in, filling your belly now, expanding and allowing the energy to drop down into the belly. And then releasing out the base of the spine, everything you want to release. Trusting and knowing that Mother Earth can transmute anything you offer into nourishment for those little stirring plants under the snow. Now, one more breath into the heart this time, breathing into the heart, opening and receiving. And on the exhale, letting that light expand outward to seal you in a bubble of golden light, blessed by the heart of love. Thank you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So as I said, our theme today is Choice Point Part 2, Discerning Guidance, and then Following it. So I'm going to show you the card that I pulled when I requested guidance for myself on where to go with this topic, because there's so much I could say. This is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which they have sort of reconfigured some of the major arcana to align more with our earthly experience nowadays, as compared to when the tarot originated back in, like, I forget, 12 or 1300s. So you can see this is the Self card, and it is the number 14, which is usually temperance for my tarot sister friends here. And in a sense, there is temperance here. So I'm going to talk about the symbology here and let that lead me into the message. A lot came through this morning as I was preparing for this, but as always, I don't jot it down. I don't want it to be left-brained. I want it to come through naturally. So you can see there's this beautiful woman here, and she is in meditation. She is tuning and turning inward. And you can see it over her high heart. There's that beautiful luminous light. Above her are the doves of peace, a peaceful mind. And then she has these dragons that are coming up and wrapping around her like the Kundalini serpents, the Ida and the Pingala, like the DNA strands. They start at the root and they come upward. And in her palms, she has two lights glowing. And she's in a forest, an oak forest, with these blue roses. And then there's this little, I think it's a butterfly down here, little butterfly, which often symbolizes the flight of the spirit. Okay, I'm going to put this here to look at. Okay, discerning guidance. Let me just connect in now. What is the message that wants to come through? There's a great deal of drama happening out there on the world stage. That will continue. When we look outward to try and find answers, to try and figure out what to do, how to navigate the unprecedented changes, and find peacefulness with what is, we will never find it out there. That which we seek outside of ourselves, we will never find, for it lies within. And so in order to discern our highest guidance to navigate these times, we must go within. And when we go within, we will meet up with the dragons of our lower nature. The first three chakras in the body, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, are connected with survival and egoic self-identity. That doesn't make them wrong, but that's what they are. And if we look outside of ourselves and try to, from that place, make discerning decisions, those three lower chakras will be in charge. They will rise up and try to force the left brain to make decisions based on external and make a lot of noise and get in the way of guidance that's coming from the deep inner knowing. So it's very important for us at this time to begin to withdraw our attention from the outer world drama. Now, again, I speak to you from being in the United States as an American. And so for me, and I could be totally wrong about this because I'm not having experiences in other countries, but to me, it looks like, and I'm happy to hear feedback from our sisters in Norway and Holland and Sweden and Southeast Asia, please. But from what I see, it looks like there's been a lot of focus up until the election and the inauguration, kind of putting it all in this intense point here in the States. And following the election and then the subsequent inauguration of the new administration here in the United States, there has been a great deal of emotion on both sides of this polarity. Now, all across the world, people are being divided. They're divided over issues of health and safety. They're divided over issues of covering the face. They're divided over the issues of injection. And here in the United States, there's been a profound division around government leadership. And so the inauguration has left some people feeling elated and others feeling confused, upset, distressed, angry. Throughout the course of the last segment of time of our history, we have been last segment of time, I don't know, I think it's been cycles of time. We have been very indoctrinated into staying in the lower realms of the lower chakras, which connect with feelings of fear, survival, selfishness, and also hate and attack. The belief that there is justification for some kinds of hate and attack. All of that keeps us separate. It keeps us identified in the physical form, which, yes, these are our avatars that we're walking around in. We have to honor the body, take good care of the health, all of that, but not by attacking others. So what is happening now, as I've been talking about, is this sort of timeline split, where those who are choosing to move beyond the drama, the polarization, the hatefulness, the fear, we have to start pulling away our attention, withdraw our attention from the outer world drama, from the dictates, from the control mechanisms, from the enforced things that are often just a threat and aren't yet necessarily manifest, although some people are experiencing much more control than others. I do get that. We have to now, this is an invitation for us. It's almost, for those of us who are sensitive and spiritual, it's almost a soul mandate, I would say. I don't really like using the word mandate. It's a soul, like the soul is starting to put the bullhorn to us and say, tune in to the self. The only place we are going to find the guidance for what our unique and highest path timeline is for this time is to go within and to listen deeply to the soul and to be able to discern that. And as long as we keep looking outside of ourselves for information, guidance, what am I going to do if this, that, or the other, how am I going to plan? We're going to trip up, because those dragons are going to come up and say, danger, 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 So it's an inside job. And I think many of us, at least the people that I speak with, we're sick of the drama, quite honestly, the nonsense. I mean, I don't even watch TV anyway, but a lot of us watch alternative stuff because we've been wanting to know, what the hell is the truth here? What is going on? This is ridiculous. We're human beings. We are born on a planet where we have learned, our physical vessels know how to adapt to viruses and bacteria. In fact, we're filled with them and covered with them. What is going on that we're being forced into these unnatural behaviors? So we dig for truth. And that is a rabbit hole. And that can get us very much looking outside ourselves. So the first step really to discerning our inner guidance is a steady practice of going inward. And then along with that, in conjunction with that, is withdrawing your attention from the drama in the outside world. The drama. Because it is getting more and more hysterical, more and more panicked in a way, more and more draconian, more and more threatening for those who seek peace and freedom. And we are divine eternal beings, and peace and freedom and love and community and the ability to connect with each other, to hug, to hold each other, to befriend each other, to sit with each other during challenging times. That is how we are designed. We are not machines. We are not designed to be separate as we are. We are not designed to cover our faces and shut ourselves up. We are not designed to be injected with poisons. We're not. And if you don't resonate with that, then I'm not your messenger, and that's okay. Peace and love to you, honestly, sincerely. But when we think about this and we see what's going on, we're like, wait a minute here. What is going on? So, okay, so let me tune in because the next piece that's going to come through is important. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I think it's worth repeating. There is some kind of wizard behind the curtain, to use a Wizard of Oz metaphor, that we can't see, that's controlling the puppets who are the leaders of this planet. That's controlling those who are making mandates that are against human nature and against most of the population's desire, whatever country you're in, except those who are deep in fear and obey whatever the dominant parent, whatever the authorities tell them. There's a rising up of the consciousness of humanity. We are saying no more. We will not be controlled in this way. But that control system, whatever that is, extra dimensional, people say it's ET or lizard beings, it doesn't really matter. We don't necessarily have to go there. Whatever that force is, it is not a force of love. At the very highest level of everything, we created it because we're all one, but that's a kind of a non-dual conversation for another time. Here's what I want to really bring forth here. Whatever that hidden control structure is that's got some kind of agenda that they're herding us toward, they don't have creative power unto themselves. They need our creativity as divine creator beings to co-create a reality that they want to see unfold. Because as our beloved Jesus once said in a transmission, or maybe it was Ananda, they don't raise their children on earth. So they are using our creative power to co-create a reality we don't want. So what do we do about that? We have to withdraw our attention from that. We have to withdraw the hand-wringing fear about what's going to happen next. It's time to turn inward. Each of us is unique. You came to this life with a unique set of soul experiences, gifts, abilities, inclinations, areas you desire to grow, family heritage, patterning, karmic complex. And from all of that, you have been walking your life path, doing the best you can with a really controlled, limited, unfree world. And now we are at a time where we are discovering that the world we thought was free isn't free at all. The controls are just being revealed, and in their desperate attempt to keep control, they can't hide anymore, so they're just coming down. But you came in as a soul of great wisdom and eternity, knowing that you would walk through the timeline of this period of time, and knowing that you would have to make choices, and knowing that it was your higher self oversoul that would guide you best of all. Guide you to the place, to the places, the people, the choices, the jobs, the relationships that would best serve your growth, your spiritual growth and unfoldment. And along the way, you fall down, you make mistakes, and hopefully you learn from them. So at this time now, It is time to tune inward and go, what is the thing I really love, that I really want to create my life to be for the years I have left on this earth? Because I'm at the choice point now where I have to decide, how am I going to live my life? And you could say, but Dawn, I can't choose the thing I want because I can't get there. That's my situation. That was my situation because my plan was to live in Southeast Asia. Right now, that's not really an option, may never be an option again. But my guidance, because I had such a strong spiritual practice, because I had such a knowing that I chose to be here in these times, my guidance immediately started saying, land with water, land with water, land with water. That's my design. It's not your design, it's my design. Some of you might have that as well. Nothing wrong with that. But the only way I knew that was because I went inward, because I did this every single day and had been doing it for years beforehand. And with the Course in Miracles, wrestling with the demons of my lower nature, so to speak, doing lots of forgiveness work so that I had a clear channel for receiving that guidance. And I'm not saying I'm some kind of like self-realized master. No, not at all. I'm working on my stuff on a daily basis. And you can too, whatever your circumstances are. So as we move to this, we're in this period of choice point. We're really at the point now where we have to make some big decisions. And you'll know what those are based on your personal life, about how we are going to proceed in the years ahead. Are we going to follow the soul's divine guidance, which will take us down a timeline to the new earth? Or are we going to follow what they're telling us on the mainstream mouthpiece, the newses, etc., and the fear timeline? And are we going to make the choices based on fear, or are we going to make the choices based on love? And the way to discern that is the inner work. It's all the stuff I teach in Priestess Alchemy, and I'm not the only one who teaches spiritual tools for clarifying ourselves, right? I always refer to the Course in Miracles, designed for the Western mind, but there are many Eastern practices as well. Mine is a little bit of a combination, the Priestess Alchemy work that I share, but daily practice, and we have to trust. You see, when we identify with those lower chakras, we identify with the body and believe ourselves to be a physical body. And then it's all about the survival of the body, which is the ego's job. But the ego thinks that the tiger's at the door at every now moment. And that's unreasonable. That's irrational. That's when we're in those lower chakras. When we begin and really know, hey, I'm an eternal divine being. To quote Course in Miracles, I am not a body, I am free, for I am as God or the divine created me. When we recognize that we are divine, eternal beings having a temporary experience in form, and that our job is to love to the best of our ability, to accept the atonement, the at-one-ment with the divine, which is love, all of a sudden, all of the nonsense and drama and draconian rules and the fear porn and all of that stuff starts to be revealed as the soap opera of entertainment it is. And we go, right, well, if I'm co-creating this, what do I want to co-create? I want to create a world of peace and love and safety for the children, something more natural, more organic, where people are creative and express themselves, where we hug our friends and family, where we join together in communion and whatever is aligned for us, where we create, all of that stuff. So this really is the time, sisters, when we, and brothers who may watch this on YouTube or BitChute later on, this is the time for us to say, where am I giving too much attention to the drama unfolding in the battlefield of 3D? And where do I need to come inward to reconnect with my own divinity and listen to the still small voice that's been guiding me all along, to guide me to what I don't want to tolerate anymore, what I do want to move toward, I don't mean physically move, but it might be, what I do want to engage in my life. Do not let the limits and controls of the external world stop you from taking the steps you need to take, whatever they may be, even if it's an internal visualization, to be what you want to be, to live what you want to live. This drama right now is not going to last forever, but it's going to take a while. And you know what's going to make it last longer? The dissolution of the unloving systems. People who continue to co-create based in fear. The more we have humanity co-creating in fear, whether they're wringing their hands because they think there's a deadly V that's going to kill them any minute now, or they believe there's certain people who, if they're in control of the government, are going to make everything better, and certain people in control of a government that are going to ruin our lives, or any of that other stuff. We have to withdraw our energy, come inward. That's where we will hear guidance. We will hear the doves of peace that will descend up into our heart, shining that beautiful light. Ooh, there. The high heart will tell us when we're on track and off track. And you know you're off track when it doesn't feel good. So if you've been really struggling with the increasing mandates, the limitations, the controls, it is time to stop resisting that. I mean, some people are called to march, to be in resistance. And that, again, you'll discern it by your guidance. Because it will become an overwhelming urge that no matter what else you do, you need to do that. But if it comes from fear, then it is not in alignment. If it comes from the overwhelming urge, maybe you have an overwhelming urge to start a new paint, to start to paint. You're like, I don't know how to paint, or garden, or dance, or it can be anything. It's usually creative. It's deeply inspired. It has to come from that inner peace, that inner sense of the guidance is guiding me through this. And even when obstructions come, I still feel it. So I'm going to give you one more illustration, then I'm going to look at your comments here and see. So with this land that I'm buying, and the overwhelming urge, land with water, land with water, land with water, I did what one does. I practically went looking for land with water. And after a couple of rounds of traveling around the Southwest in the areas that I love, American Southwest, I found the piece I wanted. I put in an offer, we got under contract, and then I couldn't get a mortgage for it. It was ridiculous. It's a long story, complications, because I'm self-employed, etc. So I kind of gave up in a little pity party for a day, or maybe more than a day. I mean, the pity party didn't last that long, but I just sort of thought, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Geez, but it felt like such strong guidance. Well, serendipity brought in conversations with my accountant, with a sister friend who really understands real estate stuff. Serendipitous conversations that they were like, oh no, you can overcome that by doing XYZ. I was like, okay. So I went back and I had to try a number of times. I had my credit score lowered a lot because I had to do a lot of attempts with different mortgage companies, but I found one. I finally found one. Because the overwhelming guidance, no matter what walls or obstructions came in the way, inside myself, even as I was mourning, grieving deeply that I might never go to my beloved Southeast Asia again, the guidance was so strong. Land with water, land with water. That's your land on, that's your land on. That I had to keep moving toward it. And here's when the magic has happened. That piece of property was on the market for almost a year. Only one offer had come in before me, and the sellers declined it. I came in, I made an offer, we were under contract, I couldn't get it, blah, blah, blah. I come back 2 months later, make an offer again. No one had made any offers. As soon as we got under contract, the realtor has told me she could have sold it many times over. That was meant to be our land. It was divinely guided. I can't explain it any other way. I knew it when I was there. Angels came on when I was standing on the porch. I mean, it was like this whole thing. So, we really can create, even though this is a dream, as Jesus calls it, a happy dream here. But we have to do it by alignment with our guidance and what we uniquely decided to come here and be and do at the soul level before incarnation, because we knew we were going to walk through these times. We knew that we were going to deal with the dismantling of ancient unloving systems, and that would be a very disruptive process all over the planet. And it would look like a global planetary takeover, and it would look like dictatorship and draconian measures, and it would look like all of this stuff. And we knew that we could do it. And we knew that we could find a way to be the creators of the new earth as long as we followed our guidance, as long as we had the discernment to follow the guidance and then follow the guidance. So I know I've been rambling a lot. I do hope that this has been helpful for you. I'm going to look through your comments now. So if there's anything you want to share, go ahead and share. And let's see here. Let me go scroll back a little bit. Let's see. So it looks like it's Amy's birthday. Amy, happy birthday, dear. I see Sharon was, unless, let's see. Maybe there's confusion that it's April 25th is my mom's birthday. Okay, maybe that's what it was. It's okay. My mom's birthday, April 25th, and that's when we start Return of the Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so Julie says, I had exactly this awareness this week to turn away from the drama and stop letting them feed off of us. Exactly. As the Thais would say, tuk tong ka, exactly. Petra says, in Germany, we have a lot of drama too. Many people are looking at what is happening in the US. We are still under lockdown. Only the grocery stores are open, but many people are waking up. They connect with nature. They are looking for alternatives to live. Yeah, nature, 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 nature. We have to connect with Mother Gaia. She is in the ascending process, and when we connect with her, it helps us to navigate this ascension, the increasing frequencies. Allison says, good morning. Good morning, Allison. Good morning, Beth. Pat says, in the 3D world, I gather facts and draw a line in the sand with love for humanity and the children. Yes, 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 yes. The 3D world is where all the drama is unfolding. And this is where we have to know the level and degree of our warrior spirit if we have that energy where maybe we are doing active work in that warrior energy. And again, though, remember, we don't want the negative forces to feed off of our creative potency. That creative potency is ours and ours alone. You are a sovereign being. And so how will you use your creative energy? Sasha says, same. Here in Quebec, Canada, we have a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Everything is closed but grocery stores. We are not allowed to see family unless they live alone. This is the most unnatural, inhumane thing. And this is why we can rail against it, and sometimes some of us will be called to rail against it. But if we just stare at it, look at it, worry about what's going to be next, and fear wringing our hands, that's where we're misusing our creative potency. That's where we would be better served to each morning bless our loved ones in love lights. Go to the earth and connect with a tree or the earth and send a message from the tree in your backyard to the tree in your mother's backyard or your loved one's backyard, and have them stand there and feel it. This is what we have to do. This is the potency right now. Or gather in these gatherings, right, that we do. Although technology has its limits, I think we have to start using the soul technology and the earth technology more and more. Sasha says, replying to Petra, sending love and strength to get through. Yes. Jan says, congratulations on finding your dream location. Best wishes for you, and may you find many blessings. Thank you, Jan. And I do have to say, quite honestly, it is my dream location. It's in the Ponderosa Pine Forests. So, despite the fact that I don't like winter that much, it is aligned with my thing. And how I am wired. Even though I would love to see the ocean again, I want to see the ocean again, I miss the ocean, but I'm a mountain gal in the end. Usha says, very helpful, thank you. Gina offers the prayer hands and the hearts. Welcome, Gina. Amy says, such a wonderful message today. Time for a shift in gears for me. And for me, I mean, basically says, I'm sharing what I am learning. It's not like I've got it all figured out, right? I'm sharing as I learn it most of the time. Sometimes there are things that I'm bringing forward in a different way. But a lot of times these Sunday morning messages, especially, it's like, this is what I've been working on. Let me share it with all of you. Judith says, I love this message. I have always followed my intuition, even when others have thought I was crazy, making such a huge change in my life. Yep. Yeah, the 3D world, we look crazy. It's time for us, and we're all getting over it, right? And the older we get, right, Judith, the less we care about other people thinking we're crazy. It's like, yeah, I might be crazy, but I'm going to be a happy crazy. I'm going to be a free crazy. So call me crazy. Jan said, I got chills at hearing your story. My husband and I had a similar journey. We will celebrate a year in our new location at the end of January. My mom's birthday. Many miracles are happening. Yes. Thank you. Wow, Jan, that's wonderful to hear. I have chills now too. And I want to talk about many miracles are happening, because this is the thing about the timeline split. Those of us who go down the timeline of love and trusting our intuition and our guidance and what our soul wants us to do, we're going to have many more serendipitous, magical encounters. Those who go down the 3D timeline of fear, and I would call it AI inorganic timeline, they are not going to be having the same kind of experience we are. And let us hold them in the light of love, because many of them will be our family members. But that doesn't mean we have to go with them. And that doesn't mean that we have to force them to go with us, because at the highest level, we are all eternal divine beings. And in whatever now moment time of some eternity, they will awaken to their own divinity again and not be in fear anymore, and not choose to opt for inorganic things, life experiences that will ultimately not take them to a happy dream. Sasha says, thank you. Jan says, wonderful message. Thank you. Enjoy your day, everyone. So thank you, Jan, for the blessing for us all. Tammy says, thank you, Dawn, and congratulations. Much needed message today. Great. Good. I'm so glad to hear that, Tammy. Sharon says, congratulations. Thank you, Sharon. Janelle says, I'll miss you, but so happy for you. See you soon. Yeah. And again, I mean, I'm going to be back here. I need a couple of weeks to get my internet set up at that place. So I'm not going anywhere, but I am going to have a couple of weeks, maybe only one, where I won't be here. Amanda says, so helpful, Dawn, and affirming. I've been reading Riane Eisler and Megan Watterson's Mary Magdalene Revealed, confirming your messages and the guidance. Read about Tekla and Perpetual and disobedience and listening to the soul. But thank you for that. Yeah, that's the Megan Watterson. I have the deck. I do have the book, but I haven't actually read it. I have such a pile of books to read. But Tekla and Perpetua are both divine feminines in this deck. And listening to the soul. By the way, you will learn to love winter. I got really good gear, and actually I don't mind traipsing through the snow in the Ponderosa pine forests. I really don't. It's just I like the warm weather better. I like riding my motorcycle around the mountains of Thailand in the winter, and that ain't happening. So Amanda says, thank you for sharing. We do not need to force others to go with us. Yeah, we don't. We can't. It's pointless. It's really pointless. Everyone makes their own choice. If people ask us questions, we can share what we know. We can share resources, etc. But people who don't want to hear, they get very angry when we try and topple their cart, their paradigm of what they believe, because the ego is in charge. And if the ego is in fear, it doesn't want to hear it, and it will attack the messenger. If it's hearing a message it doesn't want, the timelines are splitting. It's not time to red pill anyone anymore. It's time to love them and peace be with you. I'm choosing my path. Amy says, for the past several months, I've absorbed and held space for all the energies around the globe. Time to transmute and grow from those seeds that have been planted for me. Yes, indeed, dear. Yes, indeed. Okay, then there's just some comments with each other. Rosemary says, much needed encouragement. For daily practice, so important. Yep, daily practice, so important. Okay, sisters, we are at the 45-minute mark now. I want to thank you, as always, for being here together as a group each week. I'm going to miss you next week, but I will, like I said, I'm going to do my best to do some kind of video to post on, probably on Friday right before we leave, or maybe Thursday night. I think we're leaving Friday morning to go over there. So, sending you much love and bright blessings. Remember, I'll show you the picture one more time. It is time to go within, to trust the inner self, the self that is beyond the form of the body you are navigating right now. Go within and rise up, recognizing that all the chakras have their place, but it is time for us to make those decisions based on our highest possible guidance. Okay, my dear sisters, with much love and bright blessings, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you at some point soon. Have a blessed week.